guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Crafty Kathy, the owner and creator of Kids Vintage Farmhouse in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I am so happy and thankful that you stopped in to craft and spend a little time with me today. I've been vacationing in Destin and I just got back, so it's taken me a little bit to get back into the swing of things. I didn't want to come back home, but I did. But I did a lot of good thrifting down there and some antiquing. I'm going to do a separate video so you can see some of the stuff that I saw down there. And this is going to be some thrift flips of the stuff that I found on my trip. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first DIY I'm going to start off with is this gorgeous, very large tobacco basket. I got this at Goodwill for only $2.99, which is a great deal. Now, as you can see, it's in beautiful condition. There is only one little area. It's right here at the top that's kind of cracked out, but you'll never know that because we're going to put this on the wall. And the first thing that I'm going to do with this is grab my Dark and Decrepit. It is a dark liquid patina by DIY Paint, and it is amazing. It covers just kind of like a brown wax would. Basically, it's very dark, and I wanted a dark tobacco basket. Now I just grabbed an old cheap chippy brush, and as you can see, I'm just going all over this, and I'm not even going to wipe off the excess with the baby wipe. I'm kind of using the baby wipe to rub in the patina. A lot of people like to use these tobacco baskets by themselves. You can hang them on the wall. You can even use them as almost like a wreath. I've seen a lot of people do that and put florals inside of them and other things. I really think you're going to like what I decided to do with this one. I'm just going to go over this whole tobacco basket inside and out, and I'm going to put that Dark and Decrepit all over it and then kind of use that baby wipe to just rub it in. The next step I'm going to do is just grab this plaque. It's like a hanging plaque that I got for $3 at the thrift store. It says, "Welcome to our honeycomb." I'm not going to use that side because I actually need the black side. And what I did to prepare this is use my little finger sander and just very lightly went over the surface with it. We're going to use this beautiful canvas that I got from Temu. I think it's so pretty. It was like $2.98 or $1.98, I believe. I think it's like an 11 by 16, but that's okay. It's not going to bother us. I do know that I want the word Paris to be right in the very middle, and I do want some of the florals, but I want some of the words too. So I put it exactly where I wanted it. And I just grabbed the first Mod Podge that I could get my hands on, which is the Outdoor. Now, I think Mod Podge is Mod Podge, even though this Outdoor, once it cures, you know, it's actually made for outdoors. So that kind of tells me that it might be a little bit stronger. And it's very thick, I can tell you that, but it's also old. I've had it for a couple years. I'm just going to go around and pay special attention and make sure that I get the edges really good. And I just do a half of it at a time. You see, because I'm going to go and then I'm just going to rub my hand over it, going from the inside, right there in the middle, to the outside, to make sure that if the glue is too thick in spots, it's going to go toward the outer edges of it and just hold it even that much better. Now, normally I don't even use Mod Podge to do much decoupage anymore, but I have learned with these Temu canvases, they're a little thick, a lot like me, and you definitely want to use something that is very good and is going to get the job done well. I grabbed my nifty brayer. Isn't this one amazing? I love it. I got it from Lori over at Milton's Daughter, and I wanted a good brayer for a long time, and she sent me this one, and I was so excited. I really like it. If you guys want to try out any of the DIY paints or most of the materials that you see me use, I get them from Lori over at www.miltonsdaughter.com. I'll leave her information in the comments section and down below so she's easy to find. Now what I'm going to do to get this cut the way that I want to, well, first I had to get a baby wipe and wipe around it because I definitely put too much of that Mod Podge, and when I used my brayer it kind of squeezed it out. So I'm just going to wipe it off, and then I grabbed my scissors. I have some really like small scissors that I love from Temu, and I went around and just kind of did a rough cut of this. Now, I knew that canvas was going to be too thick for me to try to use sandpaper to sand it off, so I took it outside and used my electric sander to get the sides off. Now I'm going to grab my ink, my stamp pad, and I am going to go all the way around the outside of this at an angle, and I'm going to put like the black all the way around it. It's such a subtle thing to do, but it makes a huge difference. And I wanted to explain, normally when I do decoupage, I will paint the area white that I'm going to decoupage over because it will make your whatever you're decoupaging kind of brighten up. However, the reason why I used the black side of that plaque is because I wanted it to have a darker hue. The picture itself is actually white, but when you put it against that black background, it turned it almost like a gray color, and that's exactly what I was going for. The next thing I want to do is hang this on my tobacco basket, and I have to figure out exactly where I want it to hang first. I grabbed 2 pipe cleaners because we're only going to need them cut in half. I just bend them so I know exactly where to cut them at. I cut them in half, and then I'm just going to use this small pieces of, it's like cardboard. It come off of something that I had, some stickers or something. I cut it into 4 pieces because it's going to get these to hold really good. Next, I determine which way I want my pipe cleaners to go and where they need to go. I put down a bead of glue and I lay my pipe cleaner down, and then I put a whole bunch of glue on both sides of the pipe cleaner and lay the cardboard over it. The reason why I'm using these pieces of cardboard is because it kind of gives a little bit more area, and with that little bit of extra glue, it really holds those pipe cleaners on there. And I do go back and forth a couple times and flip it over just to make sure that I'm still placing them exactly where I need them to be so that I can get them through these holes easily. And when I did, all I'm going to do is flip them over and twist them all. And when I get finished twisting all 4 of the pipe cleaners on, it looks like this. The next thing that I'm going to do is grab this garland that I've had forever and a day. I can't remember if I got it at Hobby Lobby or somewhere like Dollar General. I'm going to use this floral wire that I do get at Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love it. It feels like the little bread tie, you know, that you tie your bread up with, and it's really easy to use. It cuts itself, and I'm just going to run it right over the tops of my garland and pull it through the tobacco basket. Since it's green, you're never going to know that it's there. The last thing that I'm going to do is grab some of these Temu flowers that I have. I like the pink because I think it just really goes with the picture well, and I'm going to place them wherever I think they would look good. I'm going to put the biggest one kind of right in the middle. I just cut it down, and since it's a wire, I can place it in there and bend it exactly where I want it to go. And then I'm going to place the smaller ones on the sides. And I have to say, I really love the Temu flowers. I think they are a great deal, and some of them are so gorgeous. But some of the leaves that come on these things look really cheap. So you can either just pull them off or do like I do and grab some scissors and cut them off. And then I forgot that I had added a couple of different colored roses that are kind of like a, I don't know, creamy color. But this is the first one, and I hope you like it.
She thinks I'm a little lazy. I think she's a little crazy. We like summer and we like spring. watching wrestling in the ring. She ain't shy, she speaks her mind, tough as nails and smooth as wine. We burn hot as kerosene, baby, we got our own thing. She ain't skinny and I ain't tall, and that don't bother us at all. I run naked through the yard, she flash every police car, drinking wine and getting tired.
The second DIY that we're going to work on is this cute little caddy. I really liked it because it had this little bottle opener on the side. I got it for $2.99 when I was down in Destin last week, and it says New Jersey on the side of it. But we're going to paint it. And I wanted to show you guys, I grabbed some of these mustard and ketchup bottles from the Dollar Tree the other day. You know how everybody puts their paint in those little containers like this? Well, I saw these at Dollar Tree and I was like, why would I spend a bunch of money at a craft store for these when I can buy two for $1.25? And they also have these bottles all year round at Walmart. It's the Great Value brand and they're just 98 cents a piece. And the other day, I came across someone that was selling those Great Value bottles that are 98 cents for 10 bucks a piece. And I was like, oh my goodness, because if you don't know, you don't know. But I just wanted to let you know that you can get those for 98 cents or two for $1.25. Don't spend 10 bucks a piece on these silly bottles. Now, as far as I can tell, these bottles are just as good as the ones that you would buy in the craft store or anywhere else. I mean, it's the exact same thing to me, honestly, and I'll let you know if I notice anything different. And it does not bother me one bit that it says grill and eat, chill and repeat on the front of it. You know what I'm saying? I just write whatever color that I've got in that bottle on the very top with the Sharpie, and I roll with it. And I also found some at the Dollar Tree that were clear and were not for mustard and ketchup. But if the wording on there bothers you, you can always just get nail polish remover and it'll probably just wipe right off, to be honest. But let's move on. Now we're going to do a little decoupage because I didn't want to leave these plain. And look at this gorgeous paper that Lori sent me the other day. It's got 3 little birdies with little crowns on and a beautiful owl. And this is going to go in my kitchen, in my personal kitchen. So I decided to cut out the one here that has like the pink and the blue. It seemed like it would go best with my kitchen, I guess. I have darker colors in my kitchen, but I thought this would look good. And I just kind of laid it out to see how I wanted it to go on that side. And I am going to use the Elmer's Permanent Bond. At first, I grabbed the one that's purple. Now, I get these off of Amazon, and you can get 4 sticks of these for like, I think it's around $6, but don't quote me on that. The difference between this one and the other is this one has a more permanent bond, so of course it's going to be a better hold. But there are times that I like to use the one, you know, the little purple one, especially like when I'm putting my decoupage on my candles and stuff like I do, my battery-operated candles, because I like to change those out every season and it peels right off. Now, I have these permanent ones linked in my Amazon store, and I'll put the link down below too in case you need some, and they're easy to find that way. And I like to have the permanent ones and the ones that are not permanent in my arsenal because for different crafts, you need different ones. I'm going to start off at the bottom with my hands and smooth it upward. And then I'm going to grab my little nifty brayer and I'm going to go up with it, and it's going to give me a really nice, beautiful hold. And I'm just going to go around the sides with my little hand sander and get off that excess. Guys, if you're enjoying this video so far, if you would, give me a big thumbs up because it really helps me out on YouTube. Also, if you're not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe and become a part of our family. And you guys know I've been talking about how my numbers really drastically went up since I've been saying to check and make sure that you're subscribed. There was a crazy amount of people that were unsubscribed that didn't want to be. I have no idea what's going on, but a lot of channels had been noticing it. So if you think you're subscribed, just double check just to make sure. And I am absolutely loving the way that this looks. I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm going to go around the edges. Now, you may not like this, but I absolutely love it. I think it kind of highlights the picture or like frames it and makes it look really good. And I'm just going to go around my little caddy anywhere where I think a little splash of black might look good. And I made a big boo-boo. I should have sprayed this with shellac before I painted it. Anytime when you have a brown project like this, a wood project, and you're going to paint it white or a lighter color, you run into the chance of that brown tannins kind of peeking through. So it's best to spray it with shellac. If you forget like I did and you realize later that the brown is peeking through, it's a fairly easy fix. You just spray it with the shellac, but then again, you have to paint it over again after that, and it will hold back that brown from coming through. But it's going in my personal kitchen, so it ain't going to bother me, to be honest. I'm using my antique paste. You know I love that stuff that I get from Milton's daughter. And Miss Lori sent me this gold because I wear the bronze out and she wanted me to try the other colors. And I thought the gold would look good with the little birdies because they had little gold crowns on. And I'm just going all around my little box anywhere where I want to add a little splash of gold and sticking it on there. We're going to use my very most favorite IOD stamps, the Apothecary labels. Now, you guys know, since I've got the spring collection, I label everything. And I'm definitely going to label my little caddy. I picked the one that I wanted, and I'm just going to place it on the little plastic that it comes on, that little protective plastic. I'm going to put my black ink on it, and I do use permanent ink only. And it dries really fast, so I like it. I'm going to stick her down here, and I'm going to release it. I'm going to hold it with one hand while I'm kind of giving pressure with the other hand, and I pull it up for a beautiful finish. And I wanted the word utensils to go on here, and that's the reason why I picked this stamp in particular, is because it had a long area to put the word. And first I just laid out the word utensils to make sure that it would fit, and I placed it exactly where I wanted it so it would line up. I put the little piece of plastic back over it and it stuck. I inked it up real good, and I'm going to put it right down in the middle there. It just hit me as I'm watching this and doing the voiceover. Did I spell utensils wrong? Isn't it S-I-L-S at the end? Sometimes I get in too much of a hurry. I think it's S-I-L-S. Oh dear. And I put the little pointer hand stamp on there. That's so cute.
Whenever you're down, out in the cold, faithless and dark, your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me. I know a place where we can be free. There is a light shining for you, guiding your way, helping you through. And shadows and gloom are all that you see. We'll find a place where we can be free.
Our very last project is going to be very quick, very sweet and simple. Now, I found this little box at the Dollar Tree, and it was down in Destin, but I wanted to do a quick little project with it. I'm going to use the box itself because it's a little cardboard box, and it just pops right open very easily, and you take your box out. And I'm going to use the color beadboard, which is my favorite off-white color by DIY Paint. And it actually did take 2 coats for me to be able to cover up the family's picture that was on the little cube here. My friend Lori over at Milton's Daughter sent me this gorgeous rice paper, and I couldn't hardly stand to wait to use this stuff. It's vintage ladies in like vintage swimsuits. Now, 5 of the pictures has almost like a cartoony looking lady, and then 5 of them are like real life pictures, you know. So those are the 5 that I'm going to use. There just so happens to be 6 little pieces on this cube that we can cover, but one of them is on the bottom, and I'm not going to cover that, but we are going to take 5 of these pictures, and we're going to decoupage them on the cube. What I'm going to do is just take my regular glue stick, the one that is not permanent, and I'm going to cover each side of the cube. I'm going to lay the picture down exactly where I want it, and then I'm going to use my little finger sander to get the excess off of each one. And I'm going to go through and put all 5 of these down. And I also was going to let you know while you're watching me put the rest of these pictures on here that last week I told you guys we went on vacation in Destin, and I actually had 4 teenagers with me, and we stayed in a condo right on the beach there. It was really nice. It was the perfect time of year to go, and I do have a video that I want to share with you guys for those of you who may want to watch it. I have a lot of footage of me going to the antique stores. There's a lot of antique stores down there and thrift stores, and that's why I just love that area there in Destin, because there's at least 10 thrift stores right there within a few miles apart, and the antique stores. We also went to Fort Walton Beach, just driving over there, and it's the most beautiful place in my mind in the United States. But like I said, I'm going to make a quick little video and share that with you guys. And now that I have all my little pieces together, you could see that what I did was just kind of use my little finger sander to get the excess off. And then after I had the pictures in where I wanted them to go, I just placed them right back in the little cube. And that's all I had to do with this one. Oh yeah, I forgot. I actually did take my little ink pad and go around each picture just to kind of give it a little highlight and make it look like it was framed. But I put the little piece back together, and I hope you like this last one. I love this decoupage paper that Miss Lori has. What a precious item to sit on my desk while I'm crafting, and I can look at it and dream of the beach and even dream of the way it used to be in the vintage days. Also, a lot of the new items that you see in my video here are things that I purchased at the antique store, like this old magazine from 1898. I purchased an old postal scale, an old spool and scissors, an old thread and bobbin, an old flour sifter, and one of those old things that you knead the bread with. Sorry, Roxy's upset because she's not going bye-bye. And if you stuck with me through this whole video, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all who come and watch my videos, who hit the like button, who subscribe, and in essence, you support my channel, and I wouldn't be here for you, and I thank you so very much. Guys, don't forget that my videos are every Monday and Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I would love for you to come and spend some time with me, craft with me, and let's pass the summer together. Now don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love for you to subscribe and become a part of our family. Also, if you did enjoy this video, please give me a big thumbs up, and I would love it if you would leave me a comment, even if it's just like a heart emoji. All that helps my channel greatly. I'll see you guys next time, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. And if you enjoyed this video, I have another one right here for you. All you got to do is click on it, and it'll go there when this one's finished. Also, did you know that you could click on my face and subscribe if you have a phone? I'll see you guys real soon. I love you. God bless you and your families.